Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Statue Talk. My name is Johnny, and Statue Talk is the brand new show that we're doing here on the Seraphim's Nerdpool page. It is part of the new direction in which I'm taking my channel. You may have already noticed that I have put out two videos over the last couple of days. One was on Friday called Pop Talk, and the other one was yesterday on Saturday called Figure Talk. Now this is the third one in the lineup called Statue Talk. Now, as the name suggests, Friday's videos will always be about Funko related figures and pop vinyls. Saturday will always be figures in the world of 6 scales and posable articulated figures. And Sunday's show will always be about statues. Instead of me making an individual video for every new release or new figure that comes out like I was originally doing when I first started the channel, I figured I would condense everything down into a nice, easy to manage weekly video, so you guys can all just sit back, enjoy the one video, and that's all you've got to worry about to get all of your news for the week. So let's jump straight into it. It is a brand new year. 2018 has kicked off with an absolute bang. There has been a ton of new stuff that has been teased, shown, and put up for pre-order already in this very first week of 2018. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the teasers that we've had from various companies. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Pop Culture Shock's 1/3 scale Judge Dredd. Now, this is actually a really nice looking piece. They teased the original 3D renders for it, and some of the concept design has already creeped up in the Pop Culture Shock group already. And really over the holiday period, they showed a close-up of the main sculpt for him, and they also showed like a breakdown of him already in a physical stage. So I think this guy's really going to be good. He looks a lot more comic book styled as opposed to the previous Judge Dredd that they did, which was movie based. I think it's going to be a really good one. I can't wait to see what that looks like once it's fully painted up and on display for everybody to see and to pre-order. Now the next one, they had a bunch of stuff from XM Studios. Now XM Studios teased Scarlet Witch. We had a very small picture of Scarlet Witch, basically just some of the base and her legs and like some of her torso. Looks like it's going to be a great figure. XM Studios always smashes it when it comes to this kind of stuff. And they also showed a full reveal for Iceman. Now this is the basic prototype sculpt that they've put into a physical stage at the moment. I don't know whether they're going to go clear resin with like the whole thing or what they're going to do with it, but it certainly looks like, in terms of it being a nice, imposing, dynamic pose, it's a really good looking piece, and I can't wait to see what that looks like with the final product of that. And finally, they also showed the physical prototype for Mystique. Now, Mystique, but from what they've shown, they showed two pictures of Mystique that had like different swap outs. So from what we can see, she already has swap out arms, so you can have her in different poses, and a swap out portrait with like short or tied back hair and the longer wavy hair that is more noticeable in like a comic version of Mystique. So again, they're 3 figures from XM Studios that I just cannot wait to see what they look like, fully painted up and full prototype unveiling. They'll probably unveil it at a convention sometime soon, but they look absolutely amazing. Now the only other one from another company is HMO. Now Handmade Objects, their Mega Man piece just looks absolutely amazing, and they teased their Zero from Mega Man X. Now some people have said that he doesn't look as good compared to Mega Man because he's in a much more static museum style pose as opposed to the more dynamic action pose that Mega Man is in. But I think, you know, Zero looks like he will be a really impactful, powerful piece, even in the standard sort of museum pose that he is in. He just looks like a great piece. Again, I cannot wait to see what that one looks like, fully painted up and on display. So, now we're going to move into 12 days of Sideshow. Now, there wasn't just 12 individual things that were shown, there was a whole bunch of stuff. So what I'm going to do, instead of sitting here and talking about every single one, I'm just going to rattle off every single thing that they have unveiled, and I'll get your guys' opinions on it in the comments, and, you know, join me on my Facebook group and you can let me know what you think about these pieces in that. So let's jump straight into it. On day 1, we had the life-sized Wolverine bust. Day 2, we had the legendary scale Yoda. Then day 3, we had the Rebel Terminator premium format. Day 4, we got the Captain America premium format, which has apparently now been announced that Daniel Bell is involved in sculpting that. Thundercats was day 5. Mumra and Lion-O were both teased. Mumra looks a lot further on in development because you actually see paint and everything on him, whereas Lion-O is very much shadowed out. Next day we had the Black Widow premium format. Again, he's quite far along in development because they showed quite a lot of her. The next day they showed the legendary scale Spider-Man. Now this is looks like it's going to be Peter Parker, comic book based legendary scale Spider-Man, and they also teased on the same day the Miles Morales premium format figure. Then they showed the Nightmare Joker from the Gotham City Nightmare lineup. We already knew that Joker was coming, but we got a much more clearer shot of him this time round. Then the next day they showed the Marvel Heroes. They showed Daredevil and Elektra premium format teasers. No designs for the actual statues on those ones, just that they are basically announcing that they are going to be doing them. The next day after that we got the Trinity. They're redoing Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman in the premium format lineup. Superman and Wonder Woman look like they're much further along in development. Batman, they showed basically just a really shadowed out chest area of him. So I think we're going to get Superman and Wonder Woman a lot earlier on than we will get Batman. Then they showed the DC villains. They showed Joker, Harley and Poison Ivy premium formats. Now this, I'm assuming, is a continuation of the new lineup that they're doing, redoing all of their classic popular characters in their new style. All 3 of these look like they're very, very early renders. It actually physically says on the Joker piece that it is a 3D render that you're seeing in there, and they really showed next to nothing of these guys. And the final one they showed, which if you watched my figure talk episode yesterday, was the Mythos Boba Fett 6 scale figure. Now let me know what you guys think of them. Is there anything that you guys are looking forward to getting your hands on with regards to the 12 Days of Sideshow? Are you disappointed with what they're showing? I know a lot of people have been disappointed that we're getting another Captain America, we're getting another Batman, another Superman, another Joker, and there's still a bunch of characters that Sideshow still haven't even touched. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of them. So, moving along, we're going to talk about this week's pre-orders. We had quite a varied range of stuff that come out on pre-order this week. First thing we had was the XM Studios Catwoman. Now, this is part of their Batman sort of samurai or Asian-influenced lineup that they're doing. Catwoman has a bunch of different swap-outs. You see her on her very much Japanese-styled motorbike with her Japanese-styled outfit. You have a more traditional Selena Kyle portrait, as well as a couple of swap-outs that bring that Asian and samurai influence into the portrait for her. I think it's a very nice looking piece. If you want it, I will leave a link to the XM Studios website down below. It is available for worldwide shipping, so anybody can get this one. But XM Studios stuff does run out very quickly. They do sell out very fast. There is a chance that by the time you're watching this, it's already gone. In fact, probably by the time I'm filming this, it's probably already gone. I apologize that I'm quite late when it comes to XM Studios stuff, but it definitely looks like a good piece, and congratulations to anybody that can get their hands on this one. Now, what we got from Prime One Studios, we had 2 that were put up for pre-order this week. Firstly, we had Deadman from the Lee Bermejo Artist Series lineup. They'd announced that they were going to be doing Lee Bermejo for a while. Most people expected to get Batman and the Joker and stuff like that from this lineup. Then when it came to Tokyo Comic Con earlier on in December, a lot of people were very surprised when they announced Deadman. Now this is a very, very nice looking piece. I'm not too familiar with Deadman, but I would be tempted to buy this just purely because it just looks like an absolutely astounding statue. Now, there are very limited runs. I think the exclusive is about 350 pieces and the regular is about 500. The only difference with the exclusive is you get a different portrait with a more grimace or more of an angry portrait. It's one thing I always find that Prime One Studios tends to let people down with is the exclusives. They tend to just be a different portrait that, you know, you could either take it or leave it. They don't really make the piece when it comes to these exclusive portraits from Prime One. Now the next piece they showed was Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann again, he was first revealed at Tokyo Comic Con. They showed him full setup with the giant drill poached above his head. He looks absolutely amazing. But what they've done is they've actually given you two versions that you can order. Most people don't have space for something that is the full size of the full drill version of Gurren Lagann. He's like nearly 40 inches tall with that drill, because the drill is like basically the same size as he is. The drill version runs at about, I think it's $1,300, and the non-drill version you can get, which just has Gurren Lagann with his fingers pointing up into the sky, he runs at around $1,000. Now, unfortunately, I'm really sorry, I can't remember the edition sizes off the top of my head, but I would imagine they're probably quite low edition sizes. Again, probably around the 350 to 500 mark for the two pieces. If you know, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try and put it into next week's video just so that I can clarify things a bit more for you guys. Then the next one we got was Kia. Kia is the Death's Warbringer premium format from Sideshow. It's part of their Court of the Dead lineup. San Diego Comic-Con was when she was first unveiled. We're still waiting on a lot of the Court of the Dead stuff to come up from Sideshow, but Kia was definitely one that was very highly anticipated. I know a couple of my friends were very much looking forward to this one when it was coming out. This is the second generation version of Kia Warbringer's statue. The premium format for this one has her basically standing victorious atop of the battlefield, holding a severed head of an angel in her hand, and the exclusive, you can get her holding a severed head of a demon, because obviously, as you may or may not know, when it comes to Court of the Dead, the Court of the Dead is set to try and bring balance, and Death himself is trying to create his own army to basically overthrow the war between heaven and hell. So you have Kia, who was a fallen angel. She's had her wings removed, and she helps just slay heaven and hell's armies and try to bring balance to the underworld. Now, the next one we had was from Damn Toys. They unveiled part of their epic movie series, a statue from their Warcraft license that they're doing. They have already unveiled a whole bunch of their amazing looking orcs that they've done. This one is Medivh. Medivh is the wizard who is in the film, who is quite a crucial part in the movie if you've seen that. He's a very prominent character within the realms of World of Warcraft as well. If you're familiar with the video games, you probably already know who Medivh is. This guy is a quarter scale statue. The only problem is with this, I find he is exceptionally expensive. Now, yes, okay, he's quite a large and imposing figure with the archway around him and everything like that, but he's still going to run you $900. So he is a stupidly expensive piece, but if you're a big fan of World of Warcraft, he's definitely one that you want to be thinking about getting your hands on, especially if you're a fan of the Warcraft movie as well. So that's all we have for pre-orders this week. Sideshow have already teased what they have upcoming for next week. We already know that we're going to be getting the original trilogy Stormtrooper premium format. He will be going up for pre-order next Thursday. No more details have been announced, like with regards to price or anything like that. We will get more information closer to the time. And also we are getting Tana from the Heavy Metal animated cult classic movie. Now, Tana, I'm not familiar with. There's probably a lot of people in the groups that aren't familiar with her, but it's a female character. She's very exposed and sexualized, as is the case with a lot of these cult anime movies. Sideshow always does well with the female figures. Their female forms are some of their more popular statues. If you have, all you've got to do is look at Aspen. She did actually sell very well from what I can gather, but most people aren't familiar with her. They just think she's a cool looking character. She's a very attractive looking piece. Tana is the same kind of situation. A lot of people probably won't be familiar with her, but she looks like she's a very nice piece. So that's all we've got time for this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed this new format. Let me know what you think about the new style in the comments down below. Don't be afraid to tell me it's absolutely terrible. but I do apologise if it is terrible. It is only going to get better in time. I kind of have had to scramble over the last week to get everything ready to do these videos. And the more I get on with it, the more I'm going to progress and the better these are going to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to interact with me easier, you can always join my Facebook group called The Nerd Pool. I will leave a link in the description below, along with links to a lot of the stuff down below that you've seen in these videos. They will all be in the description. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you've managed to stay to the end without being bored to tears, I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, I would again greatly appreciate that too. And we will see you guys again next week.